Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, Athletes Shining a Light on Mental Health. Quick round of applause. We got episode 190 today. Here we go. Let's get it going. Only 10 away from 200. David Mitchell, how do you feel about 190 today?
Oh man, I'm just grateful to be a part of it, man. You're the one that got this thing rolling. You started it and you brought me on. I'm just grateful for you, for our friendship and the impact that we can make with this podcast.
Love you, brother. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Jackie, talk to me. 190. How we feeling?
I remember when I was sitting in my college library and Jules texted me and was like, my friend's boyfriend's making this podcast. And I just remember sending it to all my friends. I thought it was wicked cool and now grateful that I've been able to be a part of it and meet so many people through it. And obviously, kudos to Pat because I'm pretty sure he's been on 189 of those 190 episodes.
And while we're there, Connor Mackey, let's shout him out. That was the one episode I was not on because I was at Soldier Field tailgating. Connor Mackey signed with the Blackhawks last week, Dave. I mean, when are we going to see him play, dude?
Yeah, that's sweet. I'm fired up for him.
I couldn't agree more. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the listeners. Once again, that's why we come on here every week. But once again, it's not about us, it's about the guests. I got Jayden, I got Logan, we got Cobra Nation in the building. Jayden, I'm gonna let you intro first. Obviously, a guy I followed for the last couple of years. We came out and spoke with Me Too We at Parkland. Intro yourself, man. We're happy to have you here, dude.
Hi, I'm Jayden Patel. I'm from Bloomingdale, Illinois, and I played 2 years of baseball at Parkland College, and right now I'm still looking for a home, but that's pretty much it.
I love it, man. You looking at schools, kind of who's in the mix right now for you?
Yeah, a couple schools in the mix, kind of narrowed it down a good amount. I think I'll figure it out here shortly in the next couple days. Should
All
be
right.
awesome.
No, I love it, man. I was hoping we might get a commitment on the podcast today. If it takes you a couple more days, that's okay. We got no problem with that. Speaking of commitments, Logan, obviously, Zach Gale, your brother, is a legend in these streets, man. He's been on our podcast multiple times. He's a big time supporter. You just committed to Western, man. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. So start off, my name's Logan Gale to anyone that doesn't know me. I'm originally from Elk Grove Village. Went to Conant High School. Don't know if anyone really knows where that is besides Pat. But I actually went to Parkland College also with Jayden for my past 2 years. And I recently made my commitment probably about like a week ago to Western Illinois. I mean, truthfully, my goal ever since I was a kid was playing D1 ball. And now I'm living out that dream. So, I mean, it's everything I worked for, wished for. And it's like I can't complain about anything that's happened to me.
I love it, man. I had a buddy of mine that went to Western out of high school, and he used to call it the McComey homies. And it always stuck with me, dude. So you're going out that way. You're going to be a leatherneck.
Yeah.
It's super excited. And I know that your family is super excited. What did your family say after your commitment?
I mean, they were very excited that the process was over. They don't have to worry and have all that pressure. But no, they were very, very excited about everything and my decision.
No doubt. And Dave, I know with you being a Barrington guy, we're going to put all the hate aside today and we're going to let these guys just be them. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. Well, Jayden, I'm going to go back to you real quick, man. When did the ball get in your hands? Talk about early on, Jayden Patel. Was it always baseball? What was the vibe early on for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say throughout my high school career, I really didn't start taking baseball or even think that I could take baseball a whole lot serious until like the end of my junior year, summer. That's when I realized like, okay, I actually am pretty decent at this and I actually can go play college ball and go make some things happen in college ball. Because for me, it was always like I never really knew I could. I always loved baseball, always loved playing, being at the field, but I never really knew that I could be playing at the next level and play at the next level at a high level as well. So I kind of always wrote it off. And then my junior year came and I was just like, you know what? I don't think I could leave this game in 2 seasons. I want to keep going. So I ended up just playing as hard as I can and then picked up some offers and ended up committing to Parkland. And it was the best decision for me. I mean, I had a blast there, played awesome there. It was a great time with great people. So couldn't ask for anything more.
I love it. I'm going to ask Logan the same question in a second, but what was that moment where you knew you were going to play college baseball?
Yeah, I think for me it was my senior year. I played a game or a showcase at the Illinois State games, and it's like supposed to be against a bunch of kids from Illinois, a bunch of like top recruits, committed, uncommitted, and I actually had a really good showing. I played pretty well. I think that was my kind of like, okay, I could do this. Like it gave me a lot of confidence as a baseball player just to realize like, if you're doing this against the top players, who knows what you could do with the amount of work that you could put in and more coaching and just 2 more years. Why not keep giving it a go? And I did, and I ended up keep falling in love. I mean, every single day at practice or lift, I mean, just fell more in love with the process and the game.
I love that. Logan, how about you, man? Was it always baseball? And then once we got to that point where you knew, what was that moment?
Yeah, I mean, dude, like like it's basically since birth. Like
Yeah.
ever since I was growing up, both of my brothers have like surrounded me with that game. So it's like all I knew in a way. So I mean, I would say like I was when I actually started playing baseball, like for real wise, not like as a young age. It would probably be my sophomore years when I started taking everything seriously. Because so what I did with Zach is wake up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning to go train, go to school, and I don't know if anyone knows, it's called Fastball USA. It would be from like I would say 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. So it was basically like an all day thing for me. It's like I'm gonna work my ass off and see where I could go with this. And then my junior year, I had a lot of success. That's when I would say I had my breaking point on I really want to play baseball in college. And I started getting looks, and I'm like, I mean, this is the best thing I can ask for. All the work that I'm putting in is paying off, getting these offers and all that. And I just want to keep riding with the sport that I always loved. So yeah,
No, I'm with you. And I guess for the young athletes listening, I'll go back to Jayden. I feel like the game knows, right? I feel like when you're doing stuff wrong on the field, off the field, in your training, I feel like you can't cheat the game. Would you agree with that statement? Talk about like your come up in the game of baseball.
Yeah, I definitely think the game knows is a big thing. I know a lot of kids at Parkland this year would always say that, but you know, it's like for me, it was always just keep your head down, keep working, keep working. As a late bloomer, I mean, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when, you keep working hard and, you feel like it's not working out or you feel like your progress is a lot slower than others when you're looking around, but it really just goes to test that you need to keep working, keep grinding because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the biggest thing to know that I wish I could go back and tell myself that, you know, that it does get a lot better and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be everything you need to be, but it takes time. Like you may not be the best now, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I think when the game knows how much work someone's putting in, because at the end of the day, like that's what you're gonna fall back on is your level of preparation. So you can't really cheat the work. And if you do, like, you can do it for a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, the game's gonna know. And the longer you get in the game, the harder it's gonna be for you to stay around and, really compete at a high level.
Yeah. And Logan, you talked about a pretty rigorous, pretty intense high school schedule. And Jayden, I'll go to you too. So we'll kind of do it on part A and part B here. When you become good at baseball in the Illinois area, pressure is put on you. Dave, you went through it in high school. I went through it in high school. You start playing in these big tournaments, you start getting accolades. On the mental health side, how did you guys deal with that? Logan, I'll start with you, then kick it to Jade.
yeah. So I mean, truthfully, it was a very stressful point in my life, I would say, because like the team that I was playing with, like I'm gonna talk about summer ball really quick. Like I had draft picks, guys went SEC, AC, or whatever they were going. Like we got a kid going. He was drafted to the Mariners, Ryan Sloan. A kid named Tomas. He's at Mississippi State right now. I think he won like almost pitcher of the year or something like that. I was surrounding myself with those type of guys, and I was like always thinking like, am I really truthfully like, built for this? Because like these guys are grown ass men compared to me. Like I still feel young, and like these kids are grown men compared to me. So it's like you just gotta take a step back from the situation and realize like God puts you in these situations for a reason to surround yourself with better people that's gonna better you throughout your career. So it's like I always took that as a learning point, knowing that there's always reasons for everything. Like I'm gonna be with that best team because I worked my ass off to get there, and then it's just gonna take me further on in life.
Yeah, I love that. Jayden, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'd say the pressure is kind of there for me. I had a lot of pressure in my high school. I just felt like, you know, almost like there's so many people at your high school. I would always think like, if you're not playing good or you don't um perform, that people are gonna think lowly of you or worse of you. And I mean, obviously it's just not true. Like regardless of how good or bad you play, no one's gonna change their perspective on you. But yeah, I was never really in high pressure situations like with baseball. Uh until I got to high school, I'd say. And then when I got to high school, obviously, like you put a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself. And then I'd say, after my junior year, I had put a lot of pressure on myself, and I felt like there was a lot of pressure just because, like, it's your first, for me, it was my first year on varsity, and I ended up not playing the best. And then I went to summer ball, and I think this was like the most important thing for my career. I went to an environment where, it's just me and a bunch of buddies, and it felt like there was no pressure. It literally felt like I was playing the kids' game again, and no matter if we were in uh, Georgia for a big tournament or we're playing in a local tournament in the suburbs, like every game felt like so free, so loose. So I think like kind of when you say to the pressure part, a lot of it is unadded pressure or stuff that you add by yourself. Because at the end of the day, like it's just a kid's game. So pressure really shouldn't be like the biggest thing for you. But I'd say, I went through a little bit of putting pressure on myself, trying to impress other people, and really not even playing for myself, playing for others, like trying to make it look like I'm doing this. I'm just not playing for myself. Best way to put it.
No, I love it. I'm going to go to Jackie here in a second. I think the biggest thing that I want Jackie to cover real quick is more that comparison game and that self-induced chaos. Jackie, that's something that we've touched on in the past. I'm going to let you get the mic here.
Yeah, that's something I struggled with. I have two things to say here about that. The first thing is, I don't remember where this quote came from. I think it might have been Ricky Rubio, the NBA player, but talking about getting wrapped up and so worried about who the player is of you that like the player forgets about the person. And like you get so worried about what type of player I am that you lose the person that you are. And that's something that I think a lot of athletes struggle with. But I think you see a lot of young athletes now being able to translate the fact that like what I'm doing now with this sport does apply to the real world, whatever career I want to choose. So like keep honing into that and the fact that like you both seem like very disciplined kids, well, men. And just remember too, even if it feels like the player is losing the person, like everything you're doing is translating into like your life and you just don't realize it right now. But as soon as you're done playing, it's gonna apply to so many areas of your life.
Yeah, I'd
And
absolutely
then
agree.
the other thing you guys were talking about before is like you can't cheat the game. My dad sent me this article the other day, and also I just walked up a hill if you guys can't tell.
No, you're doing great. Love
And
it.
I'll read a part of the article. I just pulled it up that he sent me. It said sports are really honest because you can't lie to yourself. Like you never know when you stayed late, when other people weren't there. And then the other line it said is, it's not about, at the last second telling myself a chipper little line and calling it a day. It's the fact that I look back on quite literally years, like a decade of hard work, of pouring my soul into this sport and trusting myself.
Amen. Jackie, I appreciate you. And you're doing great. I love that you're taking a kind of a playbook out of my, like, probably season one, season two, and just going for the gratitude walk on the pod. I love you for that. And I appreciate you
I
doing
feel like
that.
I'm like listening to a podcast right now. And then I was like, oh, wait, I'm in it.
Yep, you're on it still. No, I love it. I'm in the car if you can't tell, for the people that aren't on the YouTube. I'm going to go back to Jayden and Logan real quick. So, Jayden, first future in the next couple of days, how have you been getting right for your mental health during this precious time?
You kind of cut out a little bit. I didn't hear the first part of that.
Yeah, no, the first thing I'd say is
Sorry.
during a big part of your life right now, making a big decision with your commitment coming up, how are you dealing with it with your mental health?
Yeah, definitely. I think First of all, I'm very grateful that I'm in this position. I mean, like, if I look back, like I was just thinking, like, if I looked back and you told me high school me or even like little me, that you're going to be in this position to be choosing between what schools you want to go to, where you want to go, and ultimately getting your college paid for is, I mean, it's really a dream come true. I think for the mental health side, definitely it's definitely a roller coaster of events. Like you guys have been through recruiting. Like there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. I think the most important thing is just um, not let your value change based on what other people and coaches are saying because at the end of the day everybody's got preferences. There's some coaches that are going to think that I'm a great player, some are not, but that's not going to change anything about me when I'm on the field or who I am as a person. So I think that was the biggest thing for me during this whole process was to really just keep your mental sanity and to really like just keep assuring yourself and that you're doing the right things, you're being a good person, you're playing well, and then at the end of the day, everything's gonna work out. And now it's kind of like getting to that point where it's like this dreams are really coming true, and you're reaching that next stage in life where it's like this is what you worked for, and now you're gonna get to the point where you're like, this is all the fun. This is where you go now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I talked to one of my former college teammates. Got to shout out Mitch Gorsuch, who's my first baseman when I was at Rockford. And we were talking this week about how you could do the work every day for years and you don't see it. Like it's really hard for baseball guys when it's not an instant gratification sport. So now, Jayden, you're getting to the top of the mountain per se, but you're going to have to climb a couple more throughout the rest of your career. So I think that's powerful. Logan, I'm going to go a different direction with you. You
Mm.
obviously have gone through a lot of family stuff over the last couple of years. You've had
Yeah.
trials, you've had tribulations. For anybody out there that's going through that kind of stuff, how have you separated that and propelled yourself in the diamond?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Diamond was my safe spot from everything because like in the past, like I dealt with family struggles, and it's like I wouldn't say nothing like dramatically happened to me, but it dramatically happened to my family, and it's like I felt like I was carrying the burden and all that I would say failure and whatever was going on between my family. I took it like personal in a way, and I just put that all into my training, and it literally like set a fire in my ass because I'm like I don't want that shit to ever happen again, and if just means me working my ass off and trying to go as far as I can with whatever I'm going to do in my life, and I could show that to the people around me, then I know everything's going to turn out the way it is. So that's how I took it. It's like if if the people in my life can go through struggles and keep struggling, but they're able to get to the top of the mountain after everything, I'm like I'm always going to be okay. And for people that are listening, it's like just take a step back from your situation, know what's around you, be grateful for the situation that you're getting, be grateful for the pressure that's in your family because all it's going to do is build your family and also build you at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I got another transition after that, Logan. I appreciate you, dude. David Mitchell, the mailbag's hot, baby. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. We're mostly JUCO people here, not all, but
Jackie's adopted JUCO today. Just adopted JUCO today.
but as you graduate from high school to junior college, some people go away from school. It's a whole different environment. You're on a different team. You don't know anyone. It can be an uncomfortable situation for some people. Like myself, I had pressure of trying to kind of get out my comfort zone and meet new people. I'll start with you, Logan. What advice would you give to that person, that new person that's going straight into their first year of college?
Yeah. So so I'll say from a personal experience. So like I was someone that was very closed off to basically my freshman year. Like didn't really want to talk to many people and all that. Like the one person that got me out my comfort zone was the kid in the podcast right now, Jayden.
That's why y'all are here together, baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's like you just gotta find that one buddy that you're willing to ride or die with. Like for sure, it's gonna build over time, especially not knowing them. But it's like when you do find that relationship with that one person, like I mean, it just changes everything because you get to know everything about what they're going through, be vulnerable to someone, and then you do the same as well to them. So I mean, it's you gotta find a ride or die out there. Like knowing that I found Jayden, like he was my roommate for the past 2 years, and even it was my Parkland teammate too. But like he's a brother to me right now. Like playing our last game, like him, I never seen him cry like that, or even me too. So it's like just knowing that you build that connection over time, and like you can't change that. Like it was the best thing ever. So it's like just find that one person, and everything will be just fine.
Yeah, totally. Lean on the people around you when you go into that new situation. Jayden, go ahead.
Yeah, kind of like what Logan said. I was when I went to school, I didn't really know how to do whole lot, and kind of like how Logan said, lean on one person. It's definitely stepping out of your comfort zone because when you're growing up, you're normally with the same people forever. You're doing the same stuff, and then when you get to college, it's so many different people from different demographics of the world. It almost is like a little scary. You're like, but I think the biggest thing to really realize is that, everybody is kind of in the same boat. And that's, I think, the biggest thing. Because even if they are like a sophomore, it's like it is the first day of school for them. Like they're meeting, at least at a junior college, the whole new half of the team. So I think for an incoming freshman, kind of like what Logan touched on, is, really trust the people you're around early because at the end of the day, like they're your teammates and win, lose, or draw, you're going to be waking up and going to practice with the same group of guys. So, it makes it a lot easier. You guys are going to be going through the same stuff, whether it's a tough practice or it's a tough game. So, really just lean and trust on who's next to you because at the end of the day, that's all you got on your team.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna kick it back to Pat.
No, I love it. I think we got to go keep going moment next. I know you guys have been expecting this one. If you listen to Zach's episodes or any other episodes we've had, this is the preface of the podcast. Logan, I'm going to start with you, man.
Yeah.
What's your keep going moment? What's a moment that you shouldn't have got through that you got to the other side of, man?
Yeah, man. So I will say it happened this year is probably my more specific one. So I would say during the fall, I genuinely had a shit fall. Like I probably was bottom of the barrel, almost. What to me it felt like the worst player on our team. I was getting shelled left and right every outing, and these are like big showcase outings. And I was dealing through injury with my knee. I had to strain my Patel tendon. And it was just like all these thoughts, like wondering, like, should I still keep playing? Like, I genuinely was like looking for jobs. Like, I felt like I was gonna quit. But I mean, the one guy that I always listened to was Inky Johnson, and so like whenever I have like I feel like a breaking point where I feel like shit's not going right, I always go to him in a way just to listen to because like Inky Johnson's someone that he got paralyzed when he was in high school after a tackle, and now he's a motivational speaker to make it short. But he's someone that I listen to, and then I would say I got through that time, and then literally just worked my ass off all off season, and then everything started going to plan. Like during our live at bats, it started in January, February. I would say I was literally like one of the best pitchers. I felt like I was on top of the world. And then our first game hits. I was supposed to be one of our made starters. I got rocked, and for my past 4 starts, I got rocked. And I would say for my sixth appearance, like I got rocked one more time, and I genuinely was defeated on the mound. And that's never happened to me in my 20 something years of baseball whenever I started. And once again, I went back to Inky Johnson, and like I was dead. I was genuinely in tears after a game. I can remember vividly. Their name's Kankakee Community College, and went to the weight room right after the game. Just put him on, basically almost in tears, lifting because I've never struggled this hard in baseball in my life, and I really wanted to give up after that. But just listening to him, I literally just kept going. And
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, then to proceed literally after that outing, didn't pitch for a week, almost 2 weeks. So that just set another fire in my ass. And then for the whole month of April to May, I would say I was one of our best pitchers. I had like a 0.8 ERA with 16, 20 innings. And like if I didn't have that moment, I don't think I'm the man that I am today.
Yeah, I guess, you talked about going to the weight room, the emotional side, listening to Inky. What was the biggest thing that got you back to neutral?
Literally just listening to the words. Like,
Yeah.
So there's another person I listen to is Eric Thomas. He always says there's two that shall pass. And I always say that when I'm struggling, there's always two that shall pass. And it's like the pressure that I'm going through, all the failures, all the losses that I'm going through is building me up for the bigger moments in life.
I love it, man. Jayden, you're up, dude. Tell us your keep going moment.
Definitely. So I'd say after I had a pretty good freshman year at Parkland, and then I ended up going to play summer ball in the Prospect League down in Alton. And I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because going into your sophomore year fall for junior colleges, that's a big recruiting phase. So for me, I was like, okay, this season means a lot, and I just sucked. Like that whole summer, I was terrible. Definitely one of the worst seasons of my life. And it's tough because that was my first time being that far away from home while like it's summer because at school it's like everybody's at school, your family's working and everything like that. But during summer it's just like I went an extra 5 hours away and I struggled. It was definitely different. I was living with a host family rather than my own apartment, which the host family was great, but it's just different living with somebody else. And I came back after that summer and I was telling my parents like, dude, I don't know if I could do this at the next level because you really don't know. When you play that bad, you kind of just let the floodgates open, and that's all you think of. So, for me, what really kept me going was, obviously I worked hard in the summer. Then when I got right back to school, I realized like, okay, I got a full team that still believes in me, and that's gonna ride with me no matter what, how good or bad I play. So that really helped me a lot. And then, going into our fall this year at Parkland, we were god awful. Like I didn't have the best fall. We won like 2 games. It was rough because, we had a whole new team, a whole new coaching staff pretty much. We had a coach actually leave middle of our fall. Um, it was just a lot that fall, and after being feeling almost very discouraged because the fall didn't go our way. And then even the start of the spring, like we worked so hard during the off season. On the start of the spring, we had one of the worst starts in Parkland history, and I think we were 19-16 at one point, which is not a bad record by any means, but from the standard that we thought was we had set and the teams that we were dropping games to, it felt like, we were really divided. But I think what really kept us going was, having those uncomfortable conversations with teammates, with coaches, and each other really set us apart. And it was very easy at one for any point of that whole season up until the second part of the spring for anybody to just quit or cash the chips in and be like, all right, this year's kind of toast. Let's go to the next one. But nobody did, and we ended up being one of the hottest teams in the country in the second half of the year, and ended up making it to the World Series, which was awesome.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I would just say now when Zach Gale and Me Too Week came in, I think that saved the season. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I think Me Too Week saved the season. I'm going to have that on record, so we have that on video. Jack, you'll go us up, then Dave, then me. I'll take us home.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we get a lot of episodes with college athletes where I know Dave and Pat think the same thing. It's like a breath of fresh air. And like, I wish I had this type of mindset when I was in college because it would have helped me a ton. But just best of luck to you guys, Logan, with your school, and Jayden, wherever you commit to. They'll be very lucky to have you, and excited to see where that takes you both.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Dave, go ahead,
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't say enough about you guys, how you guys raised to a different standard. We kind of talk about standards, and you guys are at the top for sure, and you guys are going to do great at your new schools. Jayden, best of luck on your decision. I know whatever you decide, it's going to be the right decision, and Logan, congrats on the commitment.
Thank you.
No, 100%. And as I look at the clock here, we're at 30 minutes flat. What I will tell the listeners is these guys are pretty responsive. So I'm going to have them drop their social media handle. You're a young player, if you're a young coach, accountability partner. These are guys we probably should get in touch with. So Logan, go ahead and drop your socials.
Yeah, so for Instagram, I think it's logan.gale23. I'm not 100% sure, but that's for my Instagram. And then what other app? I would say that's my main app. You guys could look at me.
Perfect. Jayden, go ahead.
Yeah, mine is uh Jayden.Patel _ I believe. For
Yep,
my
I got
Instagram,
you.
that's my main source of if you need you want to contact me or anything, I'd love to talk to anybody. I love talking about the game and just, hearing about people's experiences and comparing and contrasting. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, man. I'm with you guys. And we got you guys tagged on the post. We'll have the post out today with all your handles. So even if it's a little bit, whatever, we'll make sure to get that squared away. Gentlemen, awesome. It's awesome to get to know you guys, not only in person, but now on the podcast. I know we're impacting some people today on episode 190. I hope everybody has a great, blessed Sunday. And as we go on, keep going, everybody. Appreciate the time. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
You too, guys.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, guys.